Hello, it is Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. Here's scrap ball number 1. There's scrap ball number 2. I'm going to be working with these. While I tell you what's up this week, I did finish one item. I finished the basket for my purple chicken. It's blue, pink, and purple stripes. So, I've already got that on my list. I need to get pictures of it, add it to my Etsy listing, add it to inventory, possibly post a picture on Instagram, all that fun stuff. Because I have not been keeping up with stuff like that. Scrap ball number 1, scrap ball number 2 are going into a Mr. Ugly. And I figured Mr. Ugly is so easy that I could work on one while I talked. So we shall see how that goes. Okay, I am behind on so many things. I have so many items that I have not listed on Etsy. And I sort of get into this, well, I've got a show coming up. Maybe they'll sell at the show, so I won't do an Etsy listing just yet. Well, that did work in one case this weekend. It worked in the case of the little brontosauruses, little brontos. But other than that, the new stuff that I made did not sell. I'm trying to tighten my magic ring, and I have a knot in there from, come on now. Magic ring doesn't want to tighten. There we go. Okay, we got it. Now I have to tie a knot so that it does not untighten. Loosen. That's the word for it. So I need to be more consistent with adding stuff to Etsy and posting on my social media, because I just need to get my shop out there and get sales really boosted again. Let's see. I am working on a Mr. Ugly, because I told you in the recap video yesterday that woman just picked him up and just, I have to have this. Okay. And I do have more of the sparkly silver ladder ribbon yarn, so I can make those same silvery dreads to make another silver Mrs. Ugly. So I don't think I brought a stitch marker back. Any chance there's one left behind here? Not a chance. Okay, let's do a snip. Scissors. I know you're here, scissors. We're going to snip. Where's the end of a yarn here? Make a little snip. Maybe if I went back a little further, you'd be able to see me working on this. We'll just use the yarn for my stitch marker. And now I have to single crochet, increase a few times. Single crochet, go around the block, single crochet, increase. So I'm making a Mr. Ugly. I have a custom order to try to scale down a monster that I made for custom, to scale down my April monster to half size. That'll be interesting. I wanted to wait until I was well rested to work on that, but I woke up at 5:30 this morning. What time did I go to bed? I think it was 12:30. The shirt is not one of my favorites, but I just pulled it out of the drawer this morning. Okay. I get so easily distracted, especially when I'm tired. Yes, downsize my pattern for the April monster when I am well rested and well able to concentrate, because it's going to take a lot of math and all that stuff. And I do have a few things that sold from the Saturday sale that I would like to remake. Lots of Brontos. I've got a month to my next show, so lots of Brontos. I talked with my husband about the tent and the broken leg situation, and he thinks he can find some screws that will fit in there perfectly. Or he said he could drill a hole through the back of the leg so that, and then get me some long screws with little wing nuts, and I could just put those in. Okay, that's a possibility. So he says that by the time the next sale rolls around in July, mid-July, that we'll have something rigged up for the tent. Now for this next show, I really want to focus in on stuff that was getting attention but didn't sell, and bestsellers, and really make sure I've got those at this show. Like, I was sort of distracted packing things up. I didn't take my dinosaurs. The only dinosaurs I had were the ones that I finished in the past couple of weeks. Dinosaurs were hot. People were asking for dinosaurs. I didn't have any axolotls. One lady asked for axolotls. I had lizards. They weren't close enough. She wanted axolotls. My cats were getting a lot of attention, especially in the box that I have that says kittens for sale. They were getting a lot of attention, but none sold. So we'll put them out front and center at the next show and see if they sell. So I'm just basically thinking out loud here, trying to come up with the items that were getting attention. The Glam Chicks got attention, and I did sell one, and I have another one pending for sale on Etsy. The woman who has me make up a bundle for her, she has one that's supposed to go in her bundle this week. So since I've gotten a few Glam Chicks out of inventory, maybe I could make another Glam Chick this week. I'll have to think about colors. Just look at what I've got and try to do something in colors that I haven't used yet. Will you look at that? I'm almost done with the first leg for Mr. Ugly. That's why I told the lady, it's okay, I can sell them for $12 because they work up quickly and they use my scrap yarn. These scrap balls were getting pretty big, and they were taking up too much room on my craft cart. So I'm glad I have an excuse to make one of my favorite creations, Mr. Ugly. And do I still have the pattern scribbles? It's on this paper. 9 rows. 9 rows for the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. End it at the stitch marker. So yes, I am almost done with this leg. My monsters got a little bit of attention. The $8 bin did get a lot of attention. I'm definitely going to go for the $8 bin. I might move some other objects from their regularly assigned spot to the $8 bin, just to perk that up a little bit and try to get more attention, more sales from there. So there we go. First leg of Mr. Ugly, done. And I lost my yarns. There's my stitch marker. Oh dear, here we go again. I think I'm going to cut this rather than have a knot on the first row of my magic ring. Let's start with 2 longer strands. Okay. I'm sort of thinking around my table. Let's see, right there. Stingrays were getting attention. There was one kid who wanted to buy a dragon, a stingray, and a micro octo. Now, that order would have come to $34. And his parents are like, oh, we just got here. We have to look around. And remember, you only have $10 to spend. Well, the only thing that he had that was under $10 was the micro octo. So he's like, I'm going to hide these so nobody else can get them because I'm going to come back and get them. And he put them over at the side of the display. And he never did come back. And several other people picked up the stingray and were looking at the stingray, but it never sold. That was a big yellow stingray made with Bernat blanket yarn and the Teresa's Crochet Shop pattern. So I have hopes that at my next show, I'll sell more stingrays. I didn't have any dogs out at this show. I don't know why. I guess I just didn't have the space for them. Since I could just take one vehicle to the show, it was so far away. When I do my next show out in West Seneca, my husband will also drive out. He just has a Hyundai Elantra, so he doesn't have a whole lot of room, but he will bring his A-frame and his paintings so that we'll see if we can sell any of his stuff. Since I've got the whole tent. If it's not raining. If it's raining, I don't know if we want to get his paintings wet. But for shows like that, for the West Seneca Outdoor Show and Street Fest, he will drive his car over with a load of stuff too, and then come back at the end of the day to help me break down and take stuff home. So that works out nicely. Being able to take more stuff and have a little bit of help putting up the tent and the tables and setting stuff out. I hope these shows go well. The Saturday show was okay, but I want to set some new records. It's always nice. I just skipped working with 2 strands of yarn, and I missed one of the strands. Sorry. And that was that was supposed to be an increase. Okay. This is my last row of increases. You only go 6, 12, 18, and then just keep going until you get up to 9 rows. And then you put the 2 legs together. So you got 36 stitches, and I think you do 6 rows of that. Oh, this is interesting. We just went to Christmas colors. The orange yarn just changed to red. So this guy's going to have a Christmas ankle. Or this girl. It's going to be his girl. It's going to be Sylvia. Because she's going to have long silver hair. I'm going to make the dreads pretty long on this one. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to see if I can use up this whole ball of the silver ribbon yarn. Because it is an accomplishment when you can finish off a ball of yarn from the scrap bin. So I got back to the habit of making a page in my day planner where I write down what I made. Right now there's only 2 things in there. There's my blue April Monster and the purple chicken in a basket. and I will check things off. Like I checked off that Mr. Monster was in a video because I showed him to you yesterday. And the chicken, I'll check off that the chicken was in a video. She got her airtime today. And then as I do things like get a picture of it and put it in Etsy and put it on my Instagram, then I get to check off the other boxes. And once I have all the boxes checked off, I can cross it off my list. I'm hoping that that will help me to feel a little bit more organized now. See, this is what goes so fast, where it's just like around and around, 18 stitches. Oh, we're changing colors again. The green just went to black, so now we have red and black. Ooh, I'm having a little bit too much fun with this. What you say? This is fun. When the colors change, you have no idea how it's going to look because you don't know what's coming off that yarn ball next. That's why I've got it down. You want to see my fancy yarn bowl? Oh, very expensive. There's my yarn bowl. One of the perks of being a secretary for over 20 years, when we finished off a ream of paper or a half ream, I got to bring the box home. Usually I use them for storing inventory, but I needed something to put the balls of yarn in so they aren't rolling all over the floor. How are you when you're working with a ball of yarn? I prefer working with cakes and pulling from the center so that thing is just going to stay in one spot and the yarn's going to pull out nice. But for these, I didn't know if they would even work on the yarn winder, if they'd be too big by the time I got them wound. And some of the yarns are thicker and it probably would work, but it would take a while. And it's easier just to toss them in a box. We have another color change. Now we have sparkly green and regular green. Here's how it's looking so far. I know I'm not going to finish this up while I'm talking because I'm already at 17 minutes and I probably should finish it up, go have some lunch, and then put in some time on Trudy's blanket. And let's see, I finished a work in progress this morning. This is my scrap project. Trudy's blanket. What was the other one? There were 4 things that I was going to work on each day. Oh, the Grand Ami Venture. I need to find my pattern for the cute little dinosaur. I believe I have the pink yarn out there. It's going to be a pink dinosaur with yellow accents, green spikes, and red cheeks. So I have a pink out there. I will use the yellow from my scrap bag for the accents. I'll have to find a little ball of red yarn for the cheeks, but I've got that ready to go. Yep. Speaking of ready, nope, I just went past the stitch marker is right here. I should pull it through up here so it's easier to see where my stitch ends. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2.5 more rows. So I'll finish up this leg and then I'll sign off. And tomorrow I'll show you how Silver, what else could I call her? Mrs. Syl? SYL is what I called the first one with the silver hair. So this is a repeat. I'm on row 8 of 9. I'm getting there. Still doing green and green, but there's another color. No, there's not another color change coming up, is there? I might be. Oh, there's red. Red is coming off the closer ball. I might switch to red before I finish this leg. Who knows? Yep, I'm going to switch to red because I'm still on round 8. Here it comes. It's getting closer. 2 more stitches. Like the last stitch of one of the last stitches of round 8. I changed to red. And with Mr. Ugly, part of his character is he lets it all hang out. He has the yarn ends, he or she, the yarn ends just stay hanging out because he's a messy monster. So I said this was round 8 up. I feel another knot. I'm making another color change. Now I have purple. It went from green and green to green and red, and now red and purple. So that sounds sort of like a lady from the Red Hat Society. There was one time when I went to the little general store down in our town. It was within walking distance of where I worked. And the place was full of older ladies in purple dresses with red hats. There was a field trip for a Red Hat Society. And it was so cute to see them all walking around. I have a purple dress. I don't have a red hat. And I don't know what the minimum age is for the Red Hat Society. I might be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do I have to rip something out here? I think I can do it because this one had blanket yarn for some of the first rows, so it does look a little bigger than the other one. So I'm going to just keep going around leg number 1 and continue with the body and keep going. Oh, look at that. That's very different legs for Mr. Ugly. A lot of times I try to keep the legs looking somewhat the same, but this is going to be different. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow to show you how she turns out. I think she's going to be adorable. Bye-bye.